Good morning and happy Friday to you. For those of you that don't already know, I'm Matt Sims, pastor of Charity Baptist Church, and it is a great privilege for me to be able to be a guest this week for Shock Therapy, for Aftershock, and for Pastor AJ. And I want to first say how much I really love our youth group and our teenagers. You all are tremendous. You really are. And I love seeing you grow in the Lord. I love seeing you interested in spiritual things. And so I want to take just a few minutes today to encourage you a little bit and hopefully see you make one decision at a time for the Lord. As you make those decisions, and I want to challenge you, don't minimize each and every individual decision that you make for the Lord. One decision will build upon another decision, and so you don't need to worry so much about what you're going to be doing 5 years from now as much as you decide and be committed to doing what is right today. If you'll do what is right today, it'll be a little bit easier for you to do what's right tomorrow, and those decisions will build upon one another. I want to quickly tell you about a man that maybe some of you have heard of, maybe some of you haven't, but it goes well with our theme this month at Charity on missions, and we are trying to encourage folks to have a heart for missions. The truth of the matter is this: there's 7 billion people in the world. Every one of them have a soul. Every one of those people are going to spend forever somewhere. And there's places all across the world that have never been told about the gospel. God may be calling one of you to take your life and spend it for Him like so many missionaries before you. But God may not be calling you to the mission field, the foreign field, but He is certainly calling you wherever He's going to have you to be a light for Him. And I want to challenge you, live for Jesus Christ. A life spent for Christ is a life well spent. And so take your life, whether you're here serving in Indiana or some other state or some other country, whether you're a missionary, pastor, teacher, lawyer, doctor, factory worker, whatever it is, do it for Christ. This man that I want to tell you about did exactly that. His name was William Borden. He was born November 1st, 1887. It's a long time ago. But he was born into a family that owned a very large dairy farm, and they were very, very wealthy. He grew up not hurting for money at all. Their family were millionaires, and he was the heir to that, so naturally he was a millionaire. And when he was 16 years old, his parents gave him a gift. They gave him a trip around the world. And that's a pretty great honor for a 16-year-old. Maybe some of you are 16. You can imagine if you had a paid trip around the world. It'd be incredible. And so William Borden had the opportunity to do that. And then his parents were hoping that then when he was done with that, he'd come back and take over the family business. As he traveled around the world, William Borden began to see the need for Christ in the world. He began to notice all the people that were hurting, all the people that were going to die without Christ. And it broke his heart, and so when he came back, he made it very clear that he was going to take his life and spend it for Jesus Christ. He was going to serve the Lord as a missionary. Of course, his family and his friends said, "You're crazy. You're going to walk away from millions of dollars. You're going to walk away from a life of ease to a life of hardship with no money, no support." But William Borden was not doing what he was doing because he had approval from those around him, but because God had placed in his heart a burden. So he went to Yale University. And in those days, that was a Christian university, a university that was for people studying to go into the ministry. And so he went there, and he began to notice that even there at Yale University, people needed the Lord. And so he started a morning prayer meeting. And this is what I really want to share with you young people, is you don't have to wait until you're an adult to serve the Lord. Matter of fact, you can do things right now for the Lord that some adults could not do. And so I challenge you, take today and be willing to look for the divine appointments that God has given you. He started a prayer meeting just with a couple guys in the morning time, praying before school. Soon that group went from 3 or 4 to 100 to 200 to 300. By the end of his senior year, William Borden had 1,000 people, 1,000 students at Yale University that were praying together every morning before class, and then reading a couple verses together, doing a Bible devotional. It changed Yale University. One student, one young man said, "I'm going to do what I can for the Lord." He'd finished his studies up, and then he said, I feel called to go to China to minister to the Muslim people in China. And so he studied Arabic, stopped in Egypt and studied the Arabic for a while, and then made his way over to China, or started to, and was going to use his life for the Lord. At 25 years of age, he contracted a disease, and he died. Many people said he had a wasted life. He could have been in the States. He would have never got the disease. He could have lived a long life. But interesting, in the cover of his Bible, William Borden wrote these words: "No reserves, no retreats, and no regrets." This truly summed up his life. There are many people that have reservations, that have retreats, have regrets in their life. But William Borden was not one of them. He could say that about his life, giving up his family fortune, giving up a life of fame and popularity, and he just simply, one decision at a time, decided that he would follow Jesus Christ. I don't know what God's calling you to do, but I can tell you this: if you'll follow him one decision at a time, today at school, Wednesday night Aftershock, being faithful to youth group, being faithful to Sunday morning services, if you'll do it one decision at a time, at the end of your life, you could say with William Borden, no reserves, no retreats, and no regrets. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you.